Lost the power in your relationship? When you voice your concerns, do you feel like you're talking to a brick wall or they're lost in the wind? Welcome to the Black Cat Energy Podcast. I'm your host, Air, and today we're delving into the important topic that so many of us can relate to: regaining power in your relationship when he stops making plans and prioritizing you. I remember a time in my own previous relationships when I felt completely sidelined and overlooked. My partner had gotten so caught up in work and other obligations that I felt like an afterthought. The plans that we used to make together started dwindling, and I found myself constantly feeling frustrated and unimportant. I know how painful and isolating that experience can be. But the good news is there are steps that we can take to reclaim our power and rebuild that connection, harness our black cat energy, and really just feel better about ourselves and our relationship overall. And that is what we're exploring today. So let's start by understanding why these shifts can happen in relationships. Often it is because our partners suddenly stop caring about us. No. Often it's not. I was just saying if you were paying attention. Often they still do care about us. And it's usually a symptom of other things in our lives or even their lives changes. Like maybe they're working a lot more, there's family responsibilities, or even just general stress and burnout. When someone is feeling stretched thin, it's natural for the smaller, more routine things like date nights and quality time to start falling way to the wayside. And unfortunately, that can leave the other partner, aka you, feeling neglected and unappreciated. The key is to avoid taking it personally. And that ultimately is black cat energy overall. Is most of what's happening in our lives has nothing to do about us, but does affect us. But we can take back that power over and over and actually harness that magnetic nature by avoiding taking anything personally, by understanding our emotions and working with those emotions. These ebbs and flows are a normal part of any term that's like a long-term relationship. The real challenge is figuring out how to navigate them in a healthy way. The first step is to do some self-reflection. How do you feel when your partner stops making plans or prioritizing you? What are the specific needs that aren't being met? Maybe it's quality time, acts of affection, or simply feeling heard and understood. These type of things actually are inside of you. And it's important to get clear on your own feelings and boundaries because you are allowed to give yourself each of these and all of them. And you don't necessarily have to expect somebody else to fulfill this for you. And if you're in a relationship that's not fulfilling that for you, well, then now is a time of reflection to be able to figure out, is this the relationship that you need and want in your life? Because if you don't, resentment can start to build up. And that's when a relationship really starts to suffer. And sometimes just through the self-reflection process, you can actually gain some insight on the type of relationship you need in order to feel fulfilled. I encourage you to spend some time either journaling or meditating on these questions. What do you need to feel valued and secure in a relationship? Do not be afraid to be honest with yourself. And like that is something that a lot of people get caught up in is you're actually lying to yourself. And when you do that, you're doing yourself a huge disservice because you start to believe that the expectations of what other people say relationships should be like, or even being in a relationship, can cause you to feel like if I'm not doing this, then I'm actually not good enough. In realistic nature, you need to be like, am I good enough for myself? Am I being honest with myself? Okay, so once you've identified your needs, the next step is to really open yourself up and be vulnerable with your partner, to have the conversation. Because sometimes your partner doesn't actually know that this is causing you anxiety or loneliness or feeling rejected. I know that it can feel very daunting but trust me, it's essential. Communication is always the right way to go in relationships. So choose a time when you're both calm and receptive, not in the middle of an argument, not in the middle of the workday, and use I statements to express how you've been feeling without placing any blame. For example, I've been feeling really disconnected lately because we haven't been making plans like we used to, and I miss that quality time together. And be sure to also listen to their perspective. There may be some factors that you're not aware that are contributing to this. Like maybe they are working with their parents a lot and trying to take care of their parents, or they are trying to go for that promotion that will set you guys up for success in the future. The goal is to find a mutual understanding and work together to find solutions. Now, okay, once you've had this conversation, it's time to start rebuilding that connection. This is where you get to be creative and intentional. Plan regular date nights or activities that you both enjoy. And I really love to give this to the masculine energy and to sit in my feminine energy and be receptive, because that makes me feel good to receive, to be the nurturing and supportive one, but not the one building the house, building the structure, or building the plans. So this is an opportunity to explore new hobbies or interests that you can share together. And most importantly, make space for vulnerability and open communication. Remember, a healthy relationship is one where both partners feel seen, heard, and valued. So don't be afraid to express your desires and needs. The right partner will want to support your growth and your happiness and contribute to the relationship. And they'll support you like you support them. And they will support the relationship just like you support the relationship. So emphasize the importance of empowering yourself through this process. Not being afraid of rejection, not being afraid of abandonment, being willing to be like, I have options and I choose this. It's easy to get caught up in trying to fix the relationship, but the truth is your own self-worth and your sense of fulfillment should never be dependent on your partner. Make sure you're investing in your own interests, friendships, and personal development. Prioritize self-care and do things that bring you joy, regardless of what's happening in the relationship. When you feel confident and grounded in yourself, you'll be much better as far as emotions go and personal development, but also in a better position to navigate these challenges. Well, that's pretty much all of it. Like that black cat energy gets captured whenever you know that you're enough. You can give yourself everything that you need, and ultimately you start taking the steps to regain the power in your relationship, even when your partner stops making plans and prioritizing you. If you truly want to be able to attract them back into your life and see them really contribute more to the relationship, it's going to require you take a step back and rest in your energy, rest in your own peace, and be attractive again. This could be by reinvesting in yourself, learning things on your own in which they want to go and learn with you now, and you become more intriguing. You become somebody that is the prize. That is a whole different topic though. And I want you to really tune into this energy and reflect on this first. Get out that journal, be able to revisit this concept with yourself, because I do want to teach you how to be the dream girl and the prize. And I have plenty of episodes that are based on that, and even making him obsessed with you. But for now, I want you to regain that power by taking a step back and letting them lean in. And when you do have that conversation, do not do it from a place of anxiety or an anxious attachment. Instead, do it from a place of peace and wanting to have that healthy relationship with your dream guy. All right, my black kitties, I'll talk to you soon.